This assignment is to create a YouTube tutorial video utilizing only free browser-based, non-device specific digital resources that demonstrate the difference between a cluttered visualization and a well-organized visualization. I am going to use Screencast-O-Matic to record my presentation, and I've actually purchased the upgraded version of it. The only thing I'm going to be using it for, though, is to edit out what I think is going to be an extra long bit of nothing. So anyway, back to the assignment at hand. So I was lucky enough that I've been able to see a couple of other people's submissions, and then I started thinking, how can I use this in my class? And the first thing that came to mind immediately that I need to do is I'll be starting dimensional analysis this next week, and I used this guy's site. He has lots and lots of great information, but his website in general kind of looks like it was made in the late 90s, early thousands. So one of the things that I've been doing is taking some of his information and then moving it over to my site and then formatting it a little bit better, which I think is a lot of what the cluttered visualization means. And when you talk about white space, over here some places about white space and animation and graphics. Hopefully I'll be able to show how I use them, and I'm not going to say they look better, but they do. So anyway, long story short, what I'm planning on doing is taking this dimensional analysis fact sheet and then converting it to a brand new page on my website that will show up probably under this resources tab, to where my kids will be able to get to this information at any time that they want. So, without any more to do, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page on my website. I think the Screencast-O-Matic is causing my computer to slow down. I'll be adding a new page. For now, I'm just going to copy Mr. Wayne's title. I'm going to paste it in as my own, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to very gallantly copy this bit of information, and I'm going to paste it right there. And there is lots of things here that I do not want, which I'm going to try to just take out quickly. Let me see if I can figure it out. I really think the Screencast-O-Matic is slowing me down. One of the things that he's done is, if you'll notice, he's got, this is actually an image, whereas this is text here that you can highlight and copy. This is a formatting language called LaTeX, and what LaTeX does is it allows you to very specifically state how you want formulas to appear on a website or a printed page, and they will appear that way forever and ever. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to work with Microsoft Word on making formulas, but it's next to impossible to make good formulas with a word processor. So anyway, back to this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take all of this information and I'm going to insert it. Ooh, he's got it tabulated here. I'm going to make a new table, and just for my own benefit, I'm going to make it 4 columns. Yeah, because I can change that later. So I can come over here and merge those cells, and we're going to call this, and make it some bigger, more columns, more rows. And then here I'm going to call this, how do I want to do this? Maybe we'll do the same thing here. Oh. Maybe we'll do the same thing here. We're going to call this one distance units. And then I'm going to come over here, and now it's just a question of maybe I'm going to go right there. And then we're going to call the furlong. I tell you what I can do now, because this is going to take a little bit longer. We've obviously got 1, 2, 3 more sections, but I can finish that on my own later. What I can do at this point is I can say, if we look at, as of right now, Mr. Wayne's class, he has a lot of stuff going on here. Basically, I've got this inserted into a table, which you can now hopefully see right here. I decided not to pop up. Oh, you know what I did? I did it in the wrong spot. I needed to do this. Anyway, we have Mr. Wayne's information here as it's presented. And there's, well, he's got a gradient bar here with a different colored text color, white space, another text color. He's drawing emphasis to, hey, this needs to be memorized, but the overall layout is kind of iffy. So over here, what we have going on is, as of right now, I have the distance units done. Now, I think I'll try to shorten this to where this falls onto one line. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll say, well, how do I want to do that? First off, let's spell it correctly. And let's just call it facts. And then let's see if that fits it onto one line. I think that should. Okay, like that. Next, I think I'm actually going to delete these first 2 rows because I have an idea for them in a minute. So what I'm going to do here is table, row, delete row, table, row, delete row. I'm going to preview that. I should have left one of those. Actually, I should have. That's okay. Because I can do this. Row, insert row before. Okay, so we're going to have this. I'm going to call this the unit. Does it need to be memorized? Yes or no? And whether the unit is exact. And what is a good word for this? This is maybe value. This is a good word, I don't know. I'm going to build those up. And now let's see what we're starting to look at. Okay, so now it's starting to fall into line. So I need to figure out which ones, I didn't actually mark which ones are exact. Let's do that. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, wait, so it's 2, 3. It's not 1, it's not 4, and it's everything to walking pace after that. It's not 1, it's not 4, but then it's everything to walking pace after that. Once we got to walking pace, we have barn, league, and mile are the only additional ones that are exact. Barn, league, and mile. And which one of these do I want to memorize? Or is the meter and the kilometer? That's a good choice. So we're going to memorize. There's an extra space there. Yeah. We're going to memorize the meter and the kilometer. And now let's preview this. And hopefully what you're seeing is that as we go through this, it's getting to be a little bit cleaner, nicer. One of the things I might want to do on my own later is I'll go back there and probably alphabetize these. But for right now, yeah, that looks considerably better, but still not exactly what I'm after, because I think there is something that I want to add to give it even a little bit more presence, because you start ending up just having a wall of text, and we don't want a wall of text. So I have the ability to come over here, and I'll be able to, I've done this enough to where I just kind of know where things are at. I'm going to take this code, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to insert it. Where do I want to insert it? So let's go right here. And I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to come down here to the bottom of this table. Well, it should be right there. I'm going to delete, hold on, no, I'm going to do it someplace else. That wasn't the right spot. The right spot is right here. In that box there, take that box content text away. Come back up here. I'm going to title this my distance units. That's why I removed it a second ago. I'm going to come back to the visual and preview it. It won't show up here, but it should show up over here. And so now I have my distance units, and they're going to be organized in their own little box. And so what we'll end up with is, instead of this, we'll end up with something much closer and I think neater with this, which if you'll look at this now, comparing it to the original, the page is unbalanced here. I've brought balance to it. The data is still the same. However, it is formatted in such a way as to be easier in the eye. There's also a common color palette, which is gone throughout. So I'm basically eliminating this whole blue gradient, the yellow background, the green text. That's all been eliminated. I am bringing out the bold text. I probably ought to change that to a heading, but for right now that's fine. I do have white text on black, but that's to state what this unit is. So, all in all, I think that this has done a good job of going back to what the assignment was to demonstrate the difference between a cluttered visualization and a well-organized visualization. I suppose all that's to do now is just to upload this to YouTube. Just once again, I mean, I'm enjoying this because it's fun. I don't usually talk to myself this much, but this is something that's going to be used. Like, I found it funny how often this page is accessed by other teachers. How many comments I get on that, because this is something I just made along the same line, but what I've got here is that's the latex I was talking about earlier. I've gone through here and said, hey, here's these latex codes, and this is something which I use on a fairly regular basis, and I have the feeling that I'm going to be using this page as well, and it's also something I think that other instructors will be able to use also. So, long story short, I think I just have some editing left to do, and then I'll be done. So, thank you.